I got Smackdown on the brain on this video, guys and gals. We're going to take a look at what happened on the very final Thursday Night Smackdown on not only of 2015, but on Sci-Fi, as Smackdown next week moves to the USA Network. Hey YouTube, are you ready for your hot tag? Because if you are, it's definitely time to warp.
Times NWA World Heavyweight Champion Scrapper and Adam Pearce, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Greetings, YouTube! You've worked your way into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I am the WrestleGamer, Double B, Billy Bujo, and what we're going to be doing on this video right here, guys and gals, in particular, is talking about the final SmackDown of 2015 and the final SmackDown of the Sci-Fi Network. Now, for those of you who are wondering why I've waited this long, because as of this recording, it's January 2nd, 2016. So, first of all, I hope everyone had a safe and happy New Year. Now, as to answer your question as to why I've waited this long to post a video about Thursday Night SmackDown, because normally I post my videos the day after the shows, but for this one in particular, I did not, because of a couple of really good reason. If you guys go back to, I have a video where I shot a lot of fireworks for New Year's Eve. If you guys want to check it out, you could probably see it, like, should be floating somewhere right here in this vicinity. But what happened on there is I kind of restrained my groin muscle, and I was pretty much for the past 2 days in quite a bit of pain. Yeah, it's basically the same thing that happened to me when I was at MechaCon back in the summer in New Orleans. I'm just glad that it only lasted for the past couple of days, because when it happened in New Orleans, it lasted for a month, and it was not pleasant. And having that kind of put a damper on not only the plans I was having to do here on the channel that night, but also putting a damper also on my fireworks fun, because I love to shoot fireworks on New Year's Eve. I don't know about you guys out there, but I love to shoot fireworks on New Year's Eve. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of become a tradition of mine to light fireworks for New Year's Eve, you know, to kind of cap off 2015 and start the new year. And to have that kind of put a damper on my fun, it was really, maybe it was kind of I really don't know what to say about it, guys, but let's just say it kind of made my New Year's Eve a little bit disappointing. So while I was, that's pretty much one of the reasons why I haven't done a SmackDown review for this past Thursday, because of the pain that I was in. So, but I am healthy, I am better, and we're going to get enough of this chitter chatter. Let's go ahead and get this review started. Now, when we look to the opening, I don't know how many ways that I can say this about how much I love the New Day. And everything that they do is just so off-the-wall funny, off-the-wall entertaining. They have really evolved their gimmick into what it is today, and they've made it work. Have you guys noticed that as of late, there's been more of New Day rocks and less of New Day sucks? It's because the fans, they're finally getting over with the fans. They're finally getting over with the audience. They have made a gimmick that works for them. Or in essence, guys and gals, made it work for them. The gimmick works for them. They don't work for the gimmick. The gimmick works for them. I don't know why I said that, but I just said it to say it. It's late at night. Give me a break. Kalisto would then come out, because apparently they're still a little sore about what happened on SmackDown, because apparently Sin Cara dislocated his shoulder thanks to Big E. they would end up challenging the New Day to a match, but Kalisto and Sin Cara were not alone, as the Dudley Boyz were there as well. And apparently they had a big old table that said Happy New Year on it. And now, as far as the 6-man tag goes, it was a really decent match. Kalisto would end up getting the win with the Solito del Sol on Xavier Woods. And it wouldn't be a new year unless you rang it in right. And the only way that the Dudley rang it in right is by putting someone through a table. So Xavier Woods got a little wood. Now, Goldust and Tyler Breeze, this wasn't really much to talk about. In all honesty, Tyler Breeze would use a classic dirty pin on Goldust, which is, the roll up and putting the feet on the ropes. And so Tyler Breeze would get the win. And then Tyler Breeze and Summer Rae would make an announcement for some odd reason that they were breaking up. I can tell you this right now, it really doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't shake me to my foundation as I'm taking a sip of my beverage. It doesn't really shock me that they're breaking them up, because honestly, the gimmick so far of Tyler Breeze and Summer Rae has gone nowhere. It's gone nowhere. And to me, again, I hate to say it, but Tyler Breeze is starting to get lost in that mid-card shuffle. And it's happened to so many good NXT talent on the main roster. And it just boggles my mind that WWE Creative just doesn't know how to get their act together. They can't take from what they've seen on NXT and transition that to the main roster. And to me, that is just thoroughly aggravating. I don't know about you guys, but it definitely stresses me out when you see really good talent transition from NXT to the main roster, and they end up just falling flat on their faces. And it's not really their fault. It's WWE Creative. They can't let them transition the gimmick they were using in NXT to the main roster. Well, so far Tyler Breeze is, but they really haven't done anything with him. But that's just something, guys and girls, that I don't want to see happen. Now, the Usos taking on Luke Harper and Braun Strowman. I think this is the first time on television that Luke Harper and Braun Strowman have worked in a tag match together. It was a decent match for what it was, but it came down to Strowman and that modified sleeper on the Usos to pick up the win. Now, Naomi and Tamina taking on Brie Bella and Alicia Fox. Now, first thing I want to point out is, what the hell was up with Alicia Fox's hairdo? Did somebody stick her in a really large dryer and just spin her over and over and over again until she got that puffy hair? What was that? Now, I'm not one to critique another one's appearance, but I have to kind of put my foot down on this one just a tad bit and say that that hairdo for Alicia Fox did not work for her. It didn't. I'm sorry, it just didn't. Now, as far as how about that? Her hairdo, her bad hairdo, was actually more interesting to talk about than this damn match. Brie Bella would end up hitting the Bella Buster on Naomi to pick up the win. Tamina worked in that match, and I want to say about 90% of the time, whenever you see Team Bad, it's really either a combination of Naomi in a singles match, Sasha Banks in a single match, or the combination of Naomi and Sasha Banks in a tag match. And as of late, basically, Tamina has just been the Diesel to their Shawn Michaels, in a sense, if you think about it. Now, Bo Dallas and Dolph Ziggler. Now, let me explain something that really just infuriates me and makes me do this with that. The way they set up this match, Bo Dallas was going backstage talking about his New Year's revolutions. You heard me correctly. Revolutions. First person he sees is Curtis Axel. Haven't seen Curtis Axel on TV in months. But then he also brings up the fact that just like for this year's Royal Rumble, he was never eliminated from last year's Royal Rumble, and technically he's correct. And he's going to become the first person ever to be actively participating in 2 matches. And I gotta say, WWE, drop it. That's all I'm gonna say. Drop it. It wasn't working. It wasn't working for Curtis Axel before. It's not gonna work now. Now, just because he could get over with the Axelmania gimmick, and I thought he was getting over with the crowd with the Axelmania gimmick, but they never really went anywhere with it. They think they can bring it back. No, don't. Please don't. That's all I'm going to say is please, WWE, don't. But then he'll run into Dolph Ziggler, and then we'll have a little bit of a confrontation back there, and Dolph would drop the bomb that Bo Dallas would end up having to have a match with Dolph Ziggler for this particular Smackdown. Now, the matchup was very short in itself, and there's really no shocker to yours truly that Dolph Ziggler would get the win, hitting the super kick on Bo Dallas to seal that victory. Now, the final match of the final Smackdown of Sci-Fi in 2015 would be Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens and Sheamus. Now, for 4 of your key top guys right now, and yes, I did say 4 key top guys. That's Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, and Sheamus. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there will say, well, you know what, that's debatable. And in essence, technically, it can be debatable. I think it's probably all a matter of personal preference and where everyone has their personal standings within the backstage area. I don't know why I said backstage area, but you kind of get what I'm saying. I gotta say, it was, for what it was, a really good match. It was. Extenuated with a lot of great post-match activity. What I mean is, the way that match ended, first off, it was Kevin Owens crotching Reigns around the steel post, would end up getting him disqualified. Now, I have seen countless people, including here in Louisiana, use that very same spot and nobody would get disqualified, so why would it count now? But I guess they would need a reason to end the match, so that way they could do a lot of the post-match activity that they did. Kevin Owens and Sheamus would attempt to basically do a rerun of Monday Night Raw by putting Dean Ambrose through a table. It was then thwarted by Roman Reigns, the Superman punch. Dean Ambrose would throw Sheamus into the steel post, which then would leave him open for Roman Reigns and the spear. And pretty much ending the final Smackdown of 2015 and Sci-Fi with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose on top. Now, before I go into my overall score, I just want to just say a little bit something. Now, when Smackdown starts on USA this coming Thursday, there's going to be a new announcer. His name escapes me at the moment. I know who he is. He's going to be taking the place of Rich Brennan. Now, I don't personally have anything against Rich Brennan. I think he's a fantastic commentator, a play-by-play guy. But I gotta say, when you compare him to the new guy, he was doing English commentary for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's really on another level of Rich Brennan. Now, again, I'd like to repeat, I am not saying Rich Brennan is a bad commentator. Far from it. But the guy that's coming in to take his spot is on another level. And I'm really excited to hear him work, to see him and hear him working within WWE. After hearing some of the stuff he's done with New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm really excited to hear and see what he can do. Or, let me phrase that, what WWE will allow him to do when he comes in. Now, overall score on the final Smackdown of 2015 is going to get a 3.25 out of 5. Best match of the night, I'm going to go to Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens and Sheamus with the... pardon me. With the worst match of the night to Goldust and Tyler Breeze, because quite frankly, nobody gave a shit. Especially when they tried to make it exciting with the announcement that they were breaking up, but they're going to have one last selfie. And honestly, nobody gave a shit, and neither did I. So what I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Thursday Night Smackdown, the final Smackdown of 2015, and the final Smackdown of Sci-Fi. What did you guys think? What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Thursday Night Smackdown? I definitely want to know what you guys out there have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. WGS-TV is on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram. You guys can ask me questions. Links will be provided in the description box below. And as always, guys and gals, I'll have a couple of videos in the annotations at the end of this video for you guys to check out as well. So be sure you guys check out my playthroughs of not only Franbo, but Rise of the Tomb Raider and Sakura Santa. And trust me, I'm going to try to get that playthrough out of the way and get it done and uploaded for you guys to check out. Because I gotta say, it was a bit of a headache trying to finish that one. But anyway, guys and gals, on that note, I am your friendly neighborhood wrestle gamer, Dudley Boyz, saying we'll see ya at the next Warp Zone. Ever happen again, as Chris Jericho would so eloquently put it.